What would you do if aliens landed in your backyard? On the night of April 30th, 2023, just before midnight, a green fireball slices across the Las Vegas sky. Caught on police body cam, home surveillance, and seen by dozens across Nevada and Utah. Within minutes, a terrified family calls 911 saying something crashed.
Something fell down from the sky, and it was with light, and when it hit down, it was like a big impact, and we felt it. We felt like an energy.
And that there are giant beings on the property. We've got footage of an object in the sky, footage of potential non-human intelligence, investigations that followed, even possible connections to a government study that's 80 years old. All of this would turn into one of the strangest incidents in Las Vegas history, and that's saying something.
If those 9-foot beings come back into your backyard, you call the police and we'll come back here. Okay?
If things come back, don't call us, all right? Deal with it yourself. I ain't dealing with that.
This is a tinfoil report, which means I'd like to get the community's thoughts on how they feel about this event. Go ahead and rate this on a scale from 1 to 10 in the comments down below, with your reasons why. Regardless of anyone's opinions, let's create a community where we can discuss and talk about what we think freely. A Las Vegas Metro police officer's body cam catches a bright green object descending over the city, glowing bright and slowing down before disappearing behind some houses. Multiple other cameras around the area catch the same thing, a luminous emerald fireball. I want to give special attention to this self-driving vehicle. The vehicle was positioned at the time to see the object. It also had thermal cameras on, as that helps it to see animals or things at night in its path. As we can see on the left, there is a plane for reference. The thermal feed can't pick up the object. In other angles of this footage, the object appears to be falling really low. It could be a limitation of the camera that it can't see this object. It does get the plane, which is probably at 35,000 feet. Whether it's because it's a trick of the eyes and the object is really too high for the camera to catch, or it's because it's not a normal meteor, is hard to tell. Importantly, at least one cam does have audio of what sounds like a crashing noise near here right after the flash. It reportedly had gone down in this neighborhood. Special shout out to Nellis Air Force Base, a legendary location in UFO lore. Meteor researchers with the American Meteor Society confirm an object being sighted, as we see here with a variety of reports. Before we get into a potential crash or landing, let's talk about the history of green fireballs and how America has studied this phenomenon in the past. Enter Project Twinkle. In the late 1940s, as part of then-secret UFO study Project Grudge, Project Twinkle was designed specifically to investigate, quote, green fireballs. These fireballs would reportedly act strangely, and would be mostly spotted in the southwestern United States. The study would only be open for about 2 years. However, in that short time period, not all experts would be convinced this was natural phenomena, as we see here. It seems that after a wave of green fireball sightings were happening in the late 1940s, the project would not be fully realized. Funding would be pulled after 6 short months. Soon after, the famous study on UFOs that was actually made public, Project Blue Book, would begin. Just something to keep in mind as we keep analyzing this case. Not long after the green object is seen streaking through the sky, a panicked call hits the 911 line. It's coming from teenager Angel Kenmore.
Me, my dad, and my brother were working on a truck in our backyard, and we have a big lot outside, right? Correct?
Okay.
We were working, and we just see in a corner of our eye something fall down from the sky, and it was with light, and when it hit down, it was like a big impact, and we felt it. We felt like an energy, and then we hear like a lot of footsteps near us, and then we have a big equipment, and we see, and there's like an 8-foot person beside it, and another one's inside, and it has big eyes and it's looking at us, and it's still there.
Okay, where is this on your property?
In my backyard. I swear to God, this is not a joke. This is actually, we're terrified of it.
So there's 2 people or 2 subjects that are in your backyard?
Correct, and they're very large. They're like 8 foot, 9 feet, 10 foot. I don't know. They look like aliens to us. big eyes. They have big eyes,
Okay.
like I can't explain it, and big mouth. They're shiny eyes, and they're not human. They're 100% they're not human.
Angel insists that something crashed in their backyard and that these beings are watching them from behind the fence. 2 Las Vegas officers arrive within minutes. Their body cams are rolling. While we do hear jokes here and there, we get some interesting comments from the officers, including the fact that they might have saw something fall from the sky.
Hey, this might sound like a really dumb question, but did you guys see anything fall out of the sky? Yeah. We got a call, and one of my partners actually said that they saw it too. So, if you happen to see any, like I'm not BSing you, if you see any,
footage?
no, like if you see any like little, well, not little in this case. They're claiming 8 to 9 foot tall green beings that were in their backyard. Sounds crazy, but you never know. Your neighbors, your fine neighbors over here. But again, I would normally discount it as probably not
These
real.
neighbors right here?
Yes. I would normally discount it as nothing. However, seeing as one of my partners said they saw it too, only reason I'm actually investigating it further. So if you guys see anything, especially in your backyard, please call 911. We'll come over, okay?
After getting a bead on what was going on, the officer offers to go into the backyard. The family, being visibly shaken, refuses to go into the backyard with them. Here's where this case gets really interesting. We don't get to see the full sweep. In a bit of a stunning move, there's a full 4 minutes of redacted body cam footage. I'm not saying simply blurred like other parts of this footage. I'm saying 4 minutes of a black screen with no audio playing. Once the officer gets out of the backyard and into the front yard, the footage is restored. The reason given? Privacy reasons. Major question here. Why the secrecy? Anyone who has watched Cops knows that just because you're on somebody's property doesn't mean you can't show body cam footage. We don't even have audio here. Very strange behavior. On the ground, officers would later note a circular impression in the dirt about 10 feet across. We will later find that the circle, which was photographed by Angel, was actually there before this event. To me, this most likely rules this impression out as evidence that there was a craft here, unless there's a repeat landing in the exact same spot. However, there's more interesting parts to come with this circle later. Police would then go back up front and talk to Angel and his family.
Did you guys have, I'm sorry, no surveillance, no video?
The cameras don't belong to us.
That's from the company camera. So, no, the post, the one on the post.
The landlord got a camera on the post here. Over here, I'll show you.
Well, they don't see it. They see it.
Oh,
Yeah, the
they're
landlord
inside?
has it, so they don't have access to it. But
Okay.
someone else has access to it. So, yeah, like I said, we'll ATL the area and we'll be around here for the night.
I'm going to the hotel, man.
Yeah. I don't blame you. All right, man. We appreciate you calling. Give us a call if you see
I wanted to
anything
find some aliens. Well, hey, if those 9-foot beings come back into your backyard, you call the police and we'll come back here.
Sure.
Okay?
Somebody
If those
Yeah.
things come back, don't call us, all right? Deal with it yourself. I ain't dealing with that.
Somebody call NASA. Tell them stop.
I'll drive by and wave at you guys. You're on your own, bro.
All right, take care, guys. Have a good one. All right, so let's just regroup over here, okay?
We obviously don't know what they saw back there because we got no audio feed and no visuals. This is already bizarre, but it only goes up from here. Angel would also record a video of supposed beings in his backyard. We will cover that in more detail coming up. For the first kind of murmurs about this story to the public, we're actually going to go to the Vegas Locals subreddit. Before anyone had really talked about this story or before the Kenmore family had gone public, let's look at user Left Muscle with a series of comments about the incident. In summary, someone had reported to the police that an 8-foot glowing green object was seen in an empty dirt lot. It would then lift off into the sky, leaving only a cylindrical burn mark. The next day, when the police officer submits his report, the FBI and CIA both arrive and take over the investigation. Dashcam, bodycam, and all reports of the object are expunged from Metro Police records. This part is extremely important. Reporting officer is now on paid administrative leave. Both a homeowner with a view of the lot and his father would see this object reportedly. As we move on to the next quote from Left Muscle, we're reminded he posted about this the day after the event, before this was mainstream news. He would also state in this quote that the officer's body cam footage would actually show the craft, and it was taken by one of the quote alphabet agencies. Again, he's alleging he has insider info with connections of a family member that works at the Metro Police Department. He ends by saying that there's a potential cover-up happening right now. Last quote we have from Left Muscle here, he said that the video was actually copied before it was taken. He states that he believes the video will eventually be released, but unfortunately, as is always the case with these things, we're still waiting on that video. It's described as eerie. Grain of salt on this obviously, but he did describe a green craft that was on the ground in the area near the Kenmore house, before this was mainstream news. Within the next few days, Angel would create a YouTube channel where he would shakily tell his story, interlaced with proof that he had called 911 and body cam footage. That video is still up on YouTube. He would also post a couple more updates that have since been deleted from his channel, including showing evidence of the circle in the gravel that was photographed. In his initial post on YouTube, Angel also included the video from the backyard. I'll start off by saying you won't see a definitive alien gray on camera in this one.
Me dijo la médica me va a dar un show. La verdad que dije me cerró y es muy callada.
Acabé que dije
que la vez iba a contar que la acabas.
También de cargada.
A mí dicen pálpale, hay que utilizarla con camisas. Pero ella no usa, ella no vive.
De vuelta con luz, de vuelta casi cayó con dos luz.
Ni com ni si, pero para él. Si no te pares y con la.
Hora me que cantes París le gallengue a la chorsi, hora y todo. Sosi. ¡Ay! ¡Permisor!
Déjale esta clase, déjale esta clase.
Calmungarela, me canceles var eso. Kailo, cherro, que chute. Kailo, cherro. Kailo.
Adentro, calalo.
Uy, chetar.
Calalo.
Chidikao.
Venga, dentro, acabado.
Acabé que sí, varón.
Agladel, varón.
Chidikao.
Varón cayó, si le unía caca bare. Unía caca bare, agladel.
Kai, cherro.
Adentro, diles.
Firmisar, sale.
Te escucharé lo que te camiona, agladelo, agladelo.
Kai, firmisar, te sale.
Agladel, te juzgó.
Firmisar, porque cantas. No, cherro, que calmungarela me.
Diles, eso no son los míos, viniendo para acá.
Kai.
Ande el camión, lo conchadica del camión. El segundo, de izquierda para acá, de cables.
Kai, cherro, chidikao, Bangladel.
El concha, cortelo, concha, chistilo.
Kai,
Eso me lo muy.
forklift o camión.
Eso me lo muy. Cartelo, pegachari, palalo, que te acordó con la. Palalo, diles que a casa de lombrindi. Bien luchado, o sea, picucharico, se adolo.
Chidikao, Bangladel, que
Vaya, me dígale completico.
Oye, de cables.
Kai.
Cortelo, de que acá, dile que acá callale, hay muy pelón, sí, pelón, varón, pelón.
Ya, cherro.
Hincharon los dos, dijeron de concha, que la de que chuca,
There are things to take a look at here. Let's try and pull all we can. We start off by noticing obvious signs of distress. Weapons are drawn. Great acting by the entire family if this is fake. Angel had said at the time he had been working on their truck along with his family. We do see he is looking dirty here, so great added effects for this so-called prank. They are looking straight ahead and appear to be spooked by things near the heavy equipment. Here's a montage of what people think they are seeing by the heavy equipment. Again, nothing I would call definitive outright. There are a lot of interpretations, but it's still interesting to think that this family would react this way if it was just nothing. I really want to draw your attention to the fence. I know what you may be thinking. There's nothing there. Let's look at this odd shadow that appears startlingly out of nowhere. Keep in mind if these are advanced beings and have active camouflage, you likely wouldn't see one on a stroll. Is this odd glimmer a non-human intelligent being? Sounds kind of out there obviously, but the fear in the family is palpable from this whole scene. Other people have said that there are things behind the fence, and you guessed it, it's still hard to make out, but boy is it interesting as we can see here. While whatever they are can be hard to make out, Angel and his father would eventually draw pictures of the supposed creatures around 8 feet tall in a future interview. His father would describe some kind of technology which explains the difference in the drawing. Angel has seemingly drawn a classic tall gray alien. which people have reported in abduction cases throughout the years. After the incident begins to spread online, we have multiple investigations taking place along with the crowdsource investigations online to find sources of the green fireball and look at the backyard footage. Filmmaker James Fox, who has multiple must-watch documentaries based on UFOs, originally tweets about the incident as seen here. He seems initially excited about the case, even getting some information from a local police officer to pursue it. Fox would later tweet that he got more information from the police officer where he's changed his mind, and now he thinks Angel and his family have created a hoax, including a fake 911 call. Legendary UFO reporter George Knapp also reported on the incident as seen here. Meanwhile, a Vegas journalist, Doug Papa, a former police officer, was maybe the first and most seriously interested in the case. He would find the family as credible, stating he believed the witnesses were remaining consistent. Then comes the fascinating bit of information, first reported by Papa, that the Las Vegas Police Department actually installed multiple cameras around the home for the family safely, reportedly. There was also rumblings online that these cameras may have actually been installed by one Homeland Security. I'm just gonna say it, this is highly unusual. It was said that this was to quote, stop harassment, end quote, but it seems like a very unique thing to do for a family reporting a hoax sighting of aliens in their backyard.
2 people or 2 subjects that are in your backyard?
Correct, and they're very large. They're like
Okay.
8 foot, 9 feet, 10 foot. I don't know. They look like aliens to us. Big eyes. They have big eyes.
Okay.
Like I can't explain it. And big mouth. They're shiny eyes and they're not human. They're 100% they're not human.
Let's listen to Nevada Sheriff Kevin McCahill on this incident.
Remiss if I did not ask, though, about some body cam video recently of a light streaking across the sky. 8 News Now then reported that there was a 911 call in which your officers responded to people saying they saw alien-like figures in their backyard.
Yeah.
What can you tell us about that case?
All that's true. That all happened. We captured it on body cam. It looked to me like a bright light coming across the sky, like potentially a meteorite or something of that sort. Very shortly thereafter, we had citizens calling in 911 and saying they saw, I think it said 7, 8, 9, or 10 foot aliens in the backyard. I really believe they believed what they saw at the time. I know our officers were dispatched out there, and I know even watching their body cam, they were kind of creeped out about how much those individuals really believed that it happened. Some of the aftermath of that, there were some cameras that were put up because there were some individuals.
Metro put
cameras up there because we were trying to protect the house and the individuals that were coming by. I've heard the stories of, blacked out sedans and federal government. If that's true, I haven't been notified of it by any federal agencies, and I've never seen it or had it reported to me by my individuals. I don't know what it was, quite frankly. The saucer shape that's in the backyard, it's an interesting, it would seem very small for a 7, 8, 9, 10 foot person to be able to get into an unidentified flying object. But listen, the bottom line is I don't know what happened.
Do you believe in aliens?
I do. I think the universe is too big for us not to have other life.
These cameras would then be removed soon after. Agents would tell the family that these were for technical issues, but they were never replaced. Angel specifically would be interviewed a couple more times, of course remaining consistent with his story and not backing down. Fast forward to about a year later, and we have a lot more things to cover. Let's start with analyst Scott Roeder, a forensic video expert known for courtroom reconstructions. He performs a frame-by-frame analysis of the family backyard video. Roeder claims that there are 2 beings partially visible in the footage, not CGI and not accidental shadows, and he breaks it down. Beings potentially using a quote, cloaking device. Again, this sounds a bit out there, but if this is indeed hyper-intelligent species, this could be the tip of the iceberg. We don't know. Next, let's check in with some corroboration that could be huge. Remember our favorite Redditor Left Muscle and his claims that there was somebody on paid leave for this incident because they saw a craft? Well, let's listen to investigator John Stewart on this case, who has connections with the Las Vegas PD.
I have it on the utmost authority that at least one of the responding police officers has not gone back to work.
If Left Muscle was right at the time and there was an officer that saw a craft, Perhaps that can explain some of the reactions? Redacted body cam footage, cameras installed, officer on paid leave. Remember, left muscle seemed to leak some information extra that we didn't have in other public domain, and now some part of that seems to be corroborated. On the 1-year anniversary to this incident, Angel would be interviewed again and would state that the strange, paranormal, almost demonic things would be occurring at the house, and that the family was looking to move away because it was too scary to live there.
With all the paranormal activity happening inside your house, are you thinking about moving away?
Oh yeah, soon I'm gonna move away from this house, yeah.
Everybody or just you?
Everybody, I think.
You guys are done with this place?
Yeah.
It seems that they did move away and really restrict their internet presence. Details are scarce on that, of course. People would try to interview Angel and the family more, but they seem to vanish. So what do we make of all this? The family just saw a meteor and immediately planned a hoax right there on the spot? Because it's not like they were waiting for a meteor to happen and then just decided, oh, the plan we've been waiting for, it's perfect. It is possible that this was the case. They saw a meteor and then immediately faked a 911 call. Another option is a craft from where we don't know descended rapidly. 2 beings emerged, observed the family, and then fled, potentially in that same craft, which is why maybe we don't see any debris on the ground. This is what the witnesses are insisting that happened. Yet another option is that with the close proximity to Nellis and Creech Air Force bases, it could have been secret US tech. One thing's for sure, if we believe Left Muscle, who again was the first one on the scoop with this whole thing, maybe the craft shot back up into the sky and took off. Because this is a tinfoil report episode, we get into the scores. Remember, a 1 is a hoax, a 10 is an undeniable case. I'm gonna give this one a 7.5 out of 10. Yeah, we don't have physical evidence, that's true. An odd event in the sky, coinciding with genuine looking reactions from an entire family, followed up by odd moments on the side of the investigation, like redacted body cam footage, cameras placed on the house, and potential officer on leave, lead me to believe something did go on here. Thank you all so much for watching, liking, subscribing, commenting, and sharing all my videos. I really appreciate all the feedback, words, and scores you've been giving these videos so far. I've got a lot more to come in the future, multiple projects in mind, so make sure you're subscribed, turn those notifications on, and we will see you next time.